John 11, we see a really famous passage from the gospel accounts. It's the story of raising Lazarus from the dead. And starting in verse 41, it says this: "So they removed the stone. Then Jesus raised his eyes and said, 'Father, I thank you that you heard me. I know that you always hear me. Because of the crowd standing here, I said this, so that they may believe you sent me.' After this, he shouted with a loud voice, 'Lazarus, come out.' And verse 44 says, the dead man came out, bound hand and foot with linen strips and with his face wrapped in cloth. Jesus said to him, 'Unwrap him and let him go.'" The incredible thing about this story is not only that Lazarus was raised from the dead, it's not only that Jesus showed up and had deep sympathy for what was going on in the story, and we see earlier in the passage that he wept because he was so overcome with emotion, identifying with us in our pain, but he also gave very specific instructions. Unwrap him. Take those grave clothes off of him because he's not a dead man anymore. Let him go free. And I think about that a lot in my own life, that I've been raised into this new life with Christ. I've been given this opportunity to live differently. And yet I walk around sometimes carrying around the baggage of my old life, carrying around the things that I had before I met Christ. And I need to be unbound from those things. I need to live a completely new life, live a life that represents the opportunity that Jesus has given me to walk again, to speak again, to have a new way of looking at life. Will I embrace that challenge? Will I embrace the new life that God has given me? Or will I just be like everyone else? I know that it won't come easy, but we have to learn to live in this new life. My daughter Emery is 2 years old, and she's at that funny age where she knows how to walk, but only kind of. And she trips a lot still, and she falls sometimes, and then she just gets back up and says, "I'm okay," and she tries again. Can we have that same resilience, that same willingness to learn to walk, to talk, to be new in this world, unbound from the grave clothes that we were buried in our sin and our shame, but walking free again in the new life that God has called us to? And when we stumble, we get back up, we dust ourselves off, and we say, "I'm okay," and we go again. Take those grave clothes off. You're not dead anymore. Walk and live and experience a new life.